Hi everybody, I'm V with Passions and Distractions. Welcome back. This is going to be part 2 in my series of setting up my 2021 Passion Planner. Now, as I mentioned last time, I did a new planner setup checklist. This is the first time I've done this, and I've got to say I'm already a huge fan. So what I'm going to be doing today is just going over some of those other setup things that I'm going to do. I won't make you watch all of it in live time, I promise. But the first thing is, as I mentioned, I gave each month a color and at least one theme. So I have a set of colored pencils that will be multiples in different shades. So I did note the number so I can always pull that. And I'll be carrying a lot of that through to some of my other things, some of my habit trackers, things like that. So I can tell at a glance, like, oh, January is all this particular shade of yellow, so I got all of this done in January. I appreciate that continuity. So that's going to be one of the things that I go through today and show you how I'm using that color. I'm also going to show you a couple of my habit trackers, as well as ways that I'm going to be using the different spaces. I alluded to a lot of that yesterday. We're going to get into it a bit more today. So, or I should say last video, because who knows when you're watching this. So the first thing, you've seen, here's all my Postit Notes still set up from that last video. I will, like I said, be filling in this information, but I'm a big believer in using a word of the year. So that's actually what I'm going to be putting in this space down here. Decorating this whole page. Now, I'm not telling you what my word of the year is yet. That's an announcement that's coming later, but that's how I'm going to be using this space. Now, next, I've got, here's how you benefit from the Passion Planner. Here's our story. Here's how you use it. I gotta tell you, I love it. This is great when it's new, but I've used a Passion Planner before. I don't need this anymore. So what I'm going to be doing with these pages is covering them and using them as my vision board. So that's going to be, one of the most important things to me is I want to start thinking in that way more, really having my visions right in front of me, where I always see like what I'm looking for. What is the life I'm aiming toward? So I'll show you some of that in the future. Next, passion roadmap. I'm probably going to handle this a little bit differently this year. Once again, I'm probably going to be using it a little bit more as a vision board. I wrote some things down, and that's probably where I'll start. Like, I'll write it in pencil, but then I'll put corresponding pictures with it or over it. So it really always catches my attention and reminds me of what my big goals were. There might be some version of that with my Game Changer Passion Plan roadmap here, but not necessarily on that one. Now next, I talked about some potential ways to use this. Now, I've never really used these spaces a lot, but I did want to kind of try to change that. So one thing that I think I might be going through and just marking paydays on here. I can really just glance and see where I'm getting paid. The next thing is, of course, if I were taking a bunch of vacations or maybe had a conference or things like that, I'd probably go ahead and I'd mark that in here too, just to have it at a glance. Now, I don't really know if that's in my future with kind of everything going on in the world, but if it seems like it will be, that's how I'm going to be using this space. But I would love to hear some more ideas for how to use this. So if you have any, let me know. Now we are to, like I said, the month at glance. And as I told you, I use this as an editorial calendar for my blog and all my social media, including this channel. So we're going to look at setting that up later. But one thing that I will be doing probably in this video, I don't like these little gray spots. I understand why they exist. They're on all the months. I don't like that. So I'm going to be covering that up. I just like a little bit more pop and zazzle on my months. But we are here, and one of the first things that I want to do is go ahead and start adding some of that color. So I've got my pencil here for January. Now January's theme is New Year, New Me, Self-Care. The theme for that is yellow and honestly black and gold. So that's going to be how I dress that up. Now I don't want to do a huge amount of decorating beforehand. I do want to leave myself some space as we get closer, but I do want to go through my planner and lay down some color. I want to cover up some of these little gray areas so I don't have to worry about that kind of decorating later. But I'm not necessarily going to do a whole lot with these yet until I get to each month. So you'll probably see January very soon, but it'll be a while before you see February. So where I'm going to start, actually, I'm going to start with January. And yes, I know that there's some December in here, and December's a different color, but it's on a January week. It's in January month. Forget it. We're jumping ahead. So what I'm going to do just to start adding some color is I'm going to color in these today's focus boxes. And I'm going to color in these little check mark boxes down here. Like I said, I'm not going to add a lot of other color because I do want to leave some space as I go and as the months change, and you never know. Something may happen where I start using my planner in a different way. So I don't want to have myself too hemmed in. But these are some pretty low cost, low maintenance ways to add in some color, start getting that theme established. You know, I know a lot of people will, add washi tape across the top. I did that last year. For me, it wasn't worth the effort. I know people will cover these up with color coordinated stickers. It looks really cute, but that's, for me, it's an expense and a spending of time that I just don't want to commit to. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go through my planner, I'm going to lay down these colors, and we'll come back later. Okay, so as you can see, I've gone ahead and finished laying down some color. It kind of just helps set the theme. It immediately gives me something exciting to look at. I won't flip through the whole planner, but see, there's January yellow, there's February pink. It's really good stuff. So the last thing I want to talk about in today's video is how I'm going to help myself achieve a couple of goals every day. So every year I tell myself that I'm going to go ahead and start making sure that I'm taking care of myself a little bit more, and I am taking care of my health. And that's part of the reason actually that one of my themes of January is self-care, because I figure if I get this habit established right at the beginning of the year, then that'll help me carry it through. But I did something last year that was very effective and really helped me move the needle on getting that done. At least until the pandemic hit and I had to work from home. But that's okay. Just because, I stopped succeeding at something doesn't mean I can't go back and continue to succeed. So what I wanted to make sure that I added into my planner again this year were my daily water and steps trackers. So I wanted to make sure that I was drinking, frankly, I'm trying to drink 100 ounces of water a day, and I wanted to make sure I was taking 10,000 steps. But these are kind of overwhelming goals if you're just launching into your day and you're trying to fit that in among everything else. So the easiest way I felt to handle that was to start giving myself little checkpoints throughout the day. So for water, I'm giving myself 10-ounce checkpoints. And for steps, I'm giving myself 1,000-step checkpoints. And simply all I do is I'm going to add small circles down the side of each individual day. And at that point in the day, I just check in and I go, did I drink this much water yet? Have I taken these many steps yet? Now that doesn't mean that that particular moment I will be able to rectify that. If I'm sitting in a meeting at 9:30, I can't go, sorry guys, I gotta get up because I've still got to take 700 steps at this checkpoint. But it lets me know that I am falling behind where I want to be. So, when I do have a free moment, I can go, great, I just need to add that. Now, if you check on my blog, you will see that I actually have a particular, I have a blog entry that is all about how I have continued to add steps to my day. Now, I wrote that pre-pandemic, but actually pretty much all of the tips and tricks that I list in there still apply now. So I'll be sure to add a link to that in the description so you can go check that out. But let me just show you real quick how I break this down. So my very first circle is going to be water, and it's going to go at 7:30 in the morning. Now this is pretty easy because one, I'm certainly up by then, most of the time at any rate. Second, when I first get up, I like to start my morning by drinking water. I have a 20-ounce Tervis cup, and I probably drink half of it right when I get up, just because I'm thirsty. So, very first circle, it's going to go right here in blue at 7:30. Blue for water, obviously. And then after that, I just continue to space it out throughout the day. So actually every 2 blanks. So the next one is at 9. The next one is at 10:30. The next one is at noon. And so on. Just right down until I have 10 circles on my page. 10 blue circles. 7. So that shows my very last water check-in being at 9 o'clock. Perfect. But as I said, I also want to check my steps. So I'm going to take an orange pen and I'm going to draw a circle for that. So I want my very first one to just be at 8 o'clock. Because I don't want to be like 10:30 at night trying to still get in my steps. So even though 8 o'clock might be fairly ambitious for 1,000, like I said, just kind of gives me an idea throughout the day of how to break down this goal. So now this one's really simple because I literally draw an orange one just below every blue circle. So half an hour later, I'm checking in on my steps. So see, there's no fancy stickers, there's no big complicated printout. There's nothing dramatic for this. And that's one of the things that I kind of want to remind everybody. I'm going to do a lot of different things in my planner, and that's what works for me. And some things, yes, will involve stickers or things I cut out and glued in or whatever. But really, the essence of a planner is just a way to keep you on track for your schedule and keep you on track for reaching your goals. So you don't need a bunch of complicated stickers. They're great. They're a lot of fun. But I just want to remind you that sometimes habit tracking can just be this simple. It's just a series of circles down the page. All right, so this concludes today's video. I'm going to be back real soon with showing you some of my more complicated processes. And in the meantime, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, you comment, you click the little bell so you get notifications, and be sure to check out my blog for more tips. And also, if you're interested in getting your own passion planner, don't forget I am a passion planner ambassador. It's real simple to get your own planner. Just go to passionplanner.com, enter whatever you want in the cart. They have a lot of stuff. They have the planners, of course, and a lot of different styles of planners. But they have the planners, they have the stickers, they have markers, they have all kinds of things. And once you enter whatever you want into the cart, then you can just enter my promo code, which is Virginia F10, and that'll be in the description below. And just enter that in the promo code and you're going to get an extra 10% off your order. All right. Thanks for joining me. Bye.